Victoria Spirit.
We'll have to see.
Victoria Spirit.
You're not sold?
He ain't both.
Hater.
He ain't the No, I'm all up on LGD. I just don't think they have the better draft.
Okay, fair enough.
They're still going to win because it's a better team, but I don't think they got a better draft.
All right, well, that's Lumi's prediction. LGD, even though they drafted, in his book, terribly, they're still going to win because they're amazing?
Well, not terribly.
Okay, fair enough. And how about you guys? How are you feeling about this?
Ooh, I don't know. I think the DP is really strong. I'm going to stick with EHOME. I don't want to flip-flop, you know? I'm going to stick behind my boys. I like their way of drafting.
I mean, the Death Prophet final pick was actually very interesting in the sense the synergy as far as the right click with the Troll Warlord. I was kind of trying to think of a hero that could make sense with that, but obviously she brings her own with the Exorcism. Sounds going to be strong, so I'm going to go with LGD. I think they're just looking good overall today.
All right, well, early battles going on. I'm sure that they're just going to run away from each other soon. Pump fakes the Torrent, fine. Just getting in their head early. But we're going into game number 2. EHOME facing off against LGD. Looks like already maybe is also going to be punching people in the face, making sure that there isn't going to be a ward placed down on his hill.
Look at that, exerting the dominance in that mid lane.
Maybe he's like, I want to go to TI.
Everyone can go to TI. It's like, nice horn, bro. Got him.
All right. So the vision game, what we end up seeing, there is a ward placed down on the high ground. This is going to be scouted if ever the Bat Rider goes up here.
He has to go up onto this cliff.
Right.
And he has only got like 2 minutes left to do so. So he might not even, like even if he gets up to the cliff, he needs to have, I guess he could napalm for himself.
He could Firefly also.
Yeah, and tangle it. Yeah. Anyways, one big part of I think whether LGD has enough control against the Weaver and the Puck is whether Death Prophet will be building towards a Rod of Atos. It's a build that came out of Super, the mid-player Super, that he popularized in China, and it's actually insanely powerful. It allows you to, because when you think of DP normally, you think of phase into Yules, like that has been traditionally the way to do it.
Yeah.
But kind of adding the Rod of Atos, giving you that additional survivability and more kill potential. We'll see if maybe is going to opt for that build this game.
The other nice thing about the DP against the Dragon Knight matchup is that, you know, this is a hero that's traditionally very tanky and has a decent amount of HP pool. Obviously, he's mostly tanky through his armor and regen, but when you end up Spirit Siphoning him, it's going to be dealing it based upon a percentage of max HP. Yeah. So that's something else to keep in mind, that you'll be getting a lot of regen from that DP third spell.
Normally, when you see like a DK matchup mid, like versus Pug or Queen or even Lina, you'd be like, okay, it's going to be a farm trading situation. It's going to be a farm trading situation here as well, but I think maybe has more kill potential over the DK because of Spirit Siphon than some of other mids like Lina, that kind of stuff.
He's still going to need to get a rotation in. Victoria
for sure,
messing around with Wrong already in the top lane. Looks like that's where he wants to keep himself for the moment, and they're going to do the pull again. This is the new meta. LGD, but they managed to find the pull off here. Okay, so they won't be able to get the full one at the very least.
Meanwhile, Fluorescent on the bottom half of the map also doing that pull. But as they bring it to the mid?
We'll have to see. Wrong's going to get some of them. It looks like Victoria's going to pull it past as well.
He's kind of dying, though.
Yeah, you don't want to die to that. That's not a good look. They're coming in with the Warlock. He wants to get aggressive. I mean, he's going to have vision over this Kunkka the entire time.
Yeah, Kunkka's tangled up. He should be fine.
He's going to head back home even. Just too afraid of it.
That's zero experienced Kunkka play, though.
All right, we'll see if Yao can get any of the denies here. Hype denies.
Nope,
all right, he got one.
That's one. That's a Pog champ.
And then he throws that onto the off-lane Puck. Dark actually is going to take a decent amount of damage from this. We'll have to watch top lane. Bat Rider Old 11 still being zoned out a little bit by Wrong here, and looks like the Warlock is finally going to give up on his and might even be in a little bit of trouble if Kunkka is able to find him here. With the creeps pushing in, they won't be able to get him.
So the other time I've seen Earth Spirit pick in this TI qualifier is, I believe Ninja Boogie played it. Was it you and I casting that game, or was it me and Breaky or me and Gods? But what happened in that game is that Ninja Boogie did not get any ganks off as Earth Spirit early on. And this hero does not scale that powerfully into the mid game if you're under level, under farm. And right now I'm looking at Victoria, he hasn't done a damn thing for me.
Yeah, he's sort of been in this awkward spot where he's not able to get the pulls off as much as he would want. If you do get into a Midas on this hero, he can sometimes be really effective in the later stages, building like Blink and Aghanims and all that other good stuff, but you definitely need to make use of your early ganking potential. Maybe he just wants to wait until you get enough levels on DP where you can try and find a kill on Dragonite, because Dragonite is an easier gank than Puck. Like, he's harder to kill because he's tankier, but he's easier to hit all your spells.
Sure. Also, if it comes down to if maybe like goes into 3 points into Spear Siphon by 5, we'll see if that ends up being the case here.
More battles going on. They brought the Kunkka down to the bottom lane. I think that they were trying to make them think that this was the real Kunkka in the mid lane, exerting pressure. Navy's playing it very close.
Okay, back and forth they go. Spear Siphon only level 1, or level 2 it seems.
The next couple of minutes feel like it's mainly going to be a bit of a farm fest across the lanes. I'd be very shocked if there was a kill, unless there's one big rotation that comes out, or possibly Yao getting too far out of position.
Yeah, so normally off-lane pucks don't really do that amazingly, but it seems like he was able to withstand the early game pressure. Still somewhat under farm compared to, let's say, the Batrider. I mean, Puck has more CS, but I think Batrider's got more waiting for him in the jungle. And as I say, that 011 is going to hit some stacks.
Way to do it. And meanwhile, Ame going to keep the pulls coming through, or at least making sure that he gets the experience from him, as Victoria is going to keep the pressure on up top here. Whatever he can soak up at this point is really great for him, and being able to secure that rune as well.
Kunkka making a rotation mid here. I believe DP is low HP enough where you maybe could force a kill, but it looks like the bottle has been delivered again.
Maybe should be fine. Ended up going for the 3 points instead in Crypt Swarm instead of going for more in the Spirit Siphon.
Okay, so that skill choice makes me think that Earth Spirit would not be making too many rotation mid. Because if you're going to try to force out a kill onto TK, I think the 3rd point Spirit Siphon would do a little bit more. So it feels like this is going to be in more of a lane tray farm situation, and Earth Spirit is going to focus his attention elsewhere. And speaking of which, 011 might die to this Maledict.
He's taking a lot of damage, doesn't have raindrops, so I think that he lives, as he got brought down to 60 HP, and just about to be the 5-minute mark. He needs to stay alive here at least until the shrine is off, and, well, tries to juke, tries to jive, tries to get out of there. They're
mid as well, first blood.
Go for it.
Could happen here, maybe just double Seer Siphon, and drives the gank away top. Looks like the Batrider was fine, so a lot of close call everywhere.
Be able to rotate it with Victoria and make sure that he doesn't get taken down, but the stun, the Torn is going to connect. He has another Breathe Fire. First blood is going to be drawn. Victoria can only look on. His teammate got taken down, and they should be able to get this D-Ward now, realizing that there was one placed.
All right, I think maybe he just got somewhat outplayed there. He thought that was pretty much it with that engagement, but DK says, look, your HP is low. I'm going to pop Dragon Form and kill you. And that's exactly what happened.
Dark playing very aggressive with his orb usage. He actually is able to dodge away from the blades as well, so they won't be able to find that kill onto Dark. Still getting some more damage out, and he has 8 launch charges anyways. But maybe can steal away a rune here in a second. We'll see if he decides to go for it, if there's leave that one and instead suffice with the lane experience.
Do they not see this ward on the mid lane, LGD?
I was wondering if they were maybe saving it for maybe, and I think that's what they're doing.
Oh, it was in the fog. Yeah, now he sees it, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
He wants to get the haste turn first, or at least deny it, but I don't think he's going to be here in time. And actually end up being able to find the stun. Oh, good kick away.
Okay.
Victoria, I told you he was pretty good at Earth Spirit.
That's a little hype. I mean,
It's a little thing, but little things matter. No, you know how it goes. Yeah, now he can soak up, get all those bounty runes. He's almost level 4 at about 6.5 minutes. It's not terrible for Victoria. The fact that Batrider headed off to the jungle afterwards meant that Earth Spirit was able to soak up some more experience. And the big problem with not getting kills early with Earth Spirit is that you don't get levels, but he's been able to get those regardless.
Sure, that is the important thing, because in the mid game, you are still relying your combo of Fatal Bond into Magnetize, right? That's going to be a big part of LG's damage output. And being able to get to that level 6 will be key.
Dark, as well as Eloquent, in this lane, just putting whatever pressure they can, but the Troll Warlord still sitting almost top of the CS at 43 and 6. As they're going to be able to find this Troll Warlord. The Maledict damage as well, ticking in the orb. They should be able to end up popping. I don't think that he lives through that one, and maybe going to be able to find a little bit more. They've found themselves, yeah, the Warlock also going to die. EHOME.KEEN making all the right moves.
Also, simultaneously in the mid lane, they ran a gank onto the Dragon Knight, committed Exorcism, whole bunch of damage, threw on the DK. DK just poured it out. So I think right now LGD is suffering truly. Look at the CS differential in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Dragon Knight has 53, TP has 36. I mean, Death Prophet has one of the more awkward attack animation for a mid laner. I'm not sure if how much maybe plays a hero, but he's getting completely decimated in the mid lane. Nice silence.
Silence, yeah, that might keep maybe alive, but the coconuts, they're bouncing, trying to get him out of there. He is going to have another couple of Spirit Siphons, decides to turn, and, well, he knew he was dead at that point, and Victoria trying to secure himself a kill, ends up dodging away from the taunt for the moment, but doesn't have any more rolls. Is he going to get out? Victoria trying to play his way away, but the orb, the right clicks, the fairy fire, the taunts continuing to come from Eloquent. They end up taking him down. I think the other reason that he's ended up suffering a lot is because of the damage reduction that you get from Breathe Fire. So you weren't able to, he had a last-stand advantage with the Quelling Blade there as well.
This is a 1400 net worth lead on the mid position. That is absurd in this kind of level of play. I'm not sure what Death Prophet is one of those heroes that your early game is super important. Like, you're committing your first couple of exorcism, you want to be able to get a lot of objectives out of it. Similar to kind of how you rate, the importance of, let's say, an early Knight on Night Stalker or Metamorphosis usage on a Terrorblade. And honestly, I'm not liking how LGD's game is going currently. And I don't see how it'll get better because you're so reliant on the Blink Dagger on 11, and yes, he is going to get it soon, but I'm not sure whether they have enough damage to get kills off of.
It's going to be very dependent on how these team fights work out clearly. And there are some nice things that are coming in, although the pressure already onto the tier 1 tower mid. This could be tough. They have the Blink Dagger. They don't have the levels on the supports yet. So needing a little bit more. Probably I think the play would be taking out this other stack here, letting Warlock soak near it, and just hoping to be able to get into level 6 on Warlock before the next push comes.
Well, the other problem is, even if, let's say, Batrider comes up with the Blink Dagger, there is level 6 on the Warlock. Man, gonna get X here.
They get caught, there are no TPs, they're just gonna have to accept that this Troll Warlord is dead. I've seen him tick down, and Wrong gonna pick up that one, and Yao waddling his way back. He doesn't even have boots at this point.
He's gonna smoke up with his allies. Oh, his teammate drops a tome for him. No boots, but has level 6. But he is so far behind, and this is a very desperate gank that needs to work out. They need to get like 2 kills. All right, defend the tower.
The Warlock, he does have level 6, as you mentioned. They're moving in. Old 11 jumps in, catches one. That's the Weaver. It's a pretty good kill, and they are going to be able to get it now. But the Coconut's bouncing. I think are going to stop it from any more action coming in as the movement speed, unless Victoria can hit a really good stun roll. He doesn't have cooldown for another second. So
man, Yao not having boots there is what a big deal. He was just lagging behind, and also they still lost that tower. The Bugatti from Desire was able to take it down, so they committed a whole bunch of ults for a kill. That's pretty much what happened.
And maybe now is going to be able to finish off this stack as Victorious stands nearby to soak up whatever experience he can. Again, if they get into this level 6s now, which they are going to have them on both of them, I think that the push from LGD does still maintain a lot of strength, but they have to play around that Exorcism. It's down for another 100 seconds.
Yeah, they have long cooldowns, and Batrider, whew, blinks away. No stuns on him. The other problem right now is LGD could, let's say, use a bat, get another smoke, get a kill, but I don't think they could get objective off of them. Like, they have Exorcism, they have the Troll Warlord, but these heroes don't really hit their stride as pushers. So I think maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes later, beyond this. Whereas the Terrorblade, the big difference here is Terrorblade gets to meta and just go, right?
Yeah.
So I think LGD is also having a slower timing compared to what they had last game. And they're also getting wrecked in the laning stage.
They found themselves another Troll Warlord, but the combo breaker is going to be there. They throw out the Warlock ulti. Victoria going to roll in. Ends up missing his roll, and they get the almost full duration Witch Doctor ulti throughout the whole course of this one. Wrong is going to die eventually, but still trying to take this fight. They pull back in another. They're managing to end up turning this around. LGD losing the Earth Spirit, losing the Warlock. They've lost pretty much everybody, and maybe probably going to go down as well. Yao does manage to find himself a double kill, but it's on supports, and maybe gonna lose, maybe? Nah, he'll be able to get out of there, it looks like.
Batrider is coming back in. He's still tangling up with the puck a little bit. Dark moving forward, looking for the kill. Sees a Troll Warlord and says, all right, let's kind of back off. End of the day there, they did get, I believe, the kill that they went for, which was the Troll Warlord, right? The Death Ward was able to...
still alive. Did they, unless that fight lasted long enough,
I think he just respawned.
Okay.
Maybe? I'm not sure.
It's 2 deaths. So at the end of the day, it still is not what you want if LGD, if nothing else, because it's a lineup that wants to battle right now, and you don't get a ton out of that fight since the Warlock ended up dropping his ulti, and I don't believe Magnetizer's used at the very least.
This could be really bad. They're going to try to go to Rom, but then the whole team is here. The Casket will fly out 0-11, 0-11. Gonna get killed here by the Dragon Knight.
Ame. I mean, it's not a Terrorblade, like you said. It's not that type of a draft. And 13 minutes in, a 3,000 net worth lead for EHOME. What about scalability? How do you see this game going as it goes on later and later? Is the maneuverability of EHOME that big of a deal? Is it that much to be worried about?
I think they scale about the same. Both teams, I mean, you could make an argument that one team has slightly better than late game, but I think it's similar enough that you could say, all right, it's a wash. The problem is I think both teams scale off of tower push, right? Dragon Knight, Puck, they need a lot of objective gold. EHOME.KEEN will get the objective because they're the one that's winning right now. They are getting the towers. I don't see LGD getting towers anytime soon. And that's the problem. I don't know how DP and Tro is going to keep up with the opposing carries if they're not getting towers after towers after towers.
Right now, I think that LGD were expecting that EHOME were going in towards Roshan, but now they spot out that that was just a movement by the Witch Doctor, Wrong moving around. They managed to find Ame again in the jungle. These wards that have been placed down, really cool spots, getting good vision over by where the bounty rune is, but unlikely to get a D ward.
You know, during the heyday of Tro, which was like 1.5, 2 months ago, the joke was, if you lose your Tro 3 times, the game is over. Hold that thought here as 0-11 gonna get coil again. They're going to get brought down, even the Death Ward being committed.
They're just getting ran at. LGD into trouble now.
I told you, this is a clearly outdraft. EHOME has the huge advantage. LGD needs to outplay them, but I guess I overestimated what LGD could do in this dire straits, and they're in trouble.
Well, the tier 2 tower being assaulted. Wait for the creeps to get in for backdoor protection. You do have the Warlock ulti back up again. Magnetizes there. We haven't seen the full assortment of ultimates, but you use all of those ultis and you don't get something, and it's just going to be EHOME.KEEN doing whatever they want for the next couple minutes.
All right, smoke gang coming out from LGD. Ults are all online. DP is lacking a bit of mana, though.
That was pinged by the Witch Doctor. I wonder if they're expecting this smoke gank.
They definitely did not have vision over it.
Yeah.
But it could be one of those, look, the only time they can make a comeback is through the smoking. Oh my god, this ward is so sad. Oh, they see the button pointing it?
Yeah, this would be big, and this is going to be what they need. They're able to find him immediately, magnetized down as well, but can they take the follow-up fight? It looks like EHOME even thinking about going in for it. They're not going to, though. And maybe the turnaround that you need.
This is a big one. If they could get it, maybe should just commit that exorcism. And in fact, he will.
Weaver has a DD at the bottom lane as well. I think that they want to go in and try and fight this now, maybe. All right, exorcism still going. They are going to be able to walk into a Warlock ulti, though, if they're not careful. The boat's going to connect onto Roshan. They still have the bugs hitting it.
They see the low HP of the Roshan. They're thinking about coming in, stealing it.
All right, big movement in. They're going to walk in with the X. Ame still already dropping low. They end up being able to take that Aegis for the Radiant. Now we need to get out of your EHOME.KEEN, but they're going to be able to control him. And Dragonite in a hell of a lot of trouble. He's going to end up going down. Old 11 trying to run these heroes down to the north side. Weaver thinking about going back in.
That's huge for LGD. They just took down the highest net worth hero on EHOME. They got the Aegis off of the commitment of the exorcism.
Weaver just goes back in. Actually, excuse me, the Kunkka.
Kunkka, that's a straight up feeder, and now LGD is just collecting off the mistakes of EHOME.KEEN. We saw LDG-GAMING making some big blunders in their series. LGD getting a little bit help here from their Chinese veterans.
That's pretty insane. I mean, 6-11, and you look at the net worth across the board. Sure, you have this Dragonite that's up there, the Weaver that's up there, but the next three around that area are all LGD, and it's a strong fighting force that you see.
LGD had a 5,000 net worth deficit before that fight broke out. I think they recover about 3,000 to 4,000 of that just off that one fight. So that's huge. Troll Warlord gets a little bit of time to recover.
I mean, thinking about it, I still think that this lineup wants to be further ahead than just even with EHOME, but you got to take what you can get at this point. They certainly have a fighting chance now with a lot of those big ultis online, and they didn't have to expend any of the really long cooldowns, to the exception of Exorcism, which is back up in 27 seconds.
Right. They are feeling gold as well. Warlock didn't even need to use his ultimate, but rather he didn't have mana to use his ultimate during that fight. Still has it available.
Okay, the push up towards the top tier 2. See down here bottom, EHOME.KEEN pressuring the tower, so they're going to get something for the trade at the very least. Now here's the question, do you try and force anything if you're LGD?
I think so. Because you have the Warlock gold, because you have the Exorcism, this is a very, very strong death ball. It looks like they're going to respect it and back it off. Maybe they're feeling like their mid and bottom waves are just too pushed in. Even if they do get the top tier 2 and win a fight, they might lose a lot of structural damage in return on the other parts of the map.
Smoke play now with the Kunkka and the Puck. Those two solo. I guess that they're going to see if they can find somebody. It is going to be wrong. That's maybe going to be cannon fodder up here in the top lane. It's Old 11. They jump in. They are able to catch a bottom lane. Troll is going to get ran at as well, though, while this is happening. And it does look like he's going to get caught by the coil. Turns to fight. Wants to man up. He has the Aegis. Can the rest of them get back here in time? Can they find any on the way out? Victoria with the rolling kick. Ends up being a little bit off the mark, but did find the silence onto the Puck. More potential for a chase, at least for now.
Yeah, maybe was kind of running forward, trying to pick one up with his Yule Scepter. Unfortunately, the cast range of Yule Scepter has been nerfed repeatedly and able to get that one off. It's going to be a Solar Crest build up here by Death Prophet. So I talked about using Rod of Atos as kind of a tanking up, but this is also kind of fulfilling that checkbox with the nice added benefit of if they're lassoing somebody, you know, that Solar Crest is going to help out in terms of getting that kill.
They have Lasso and 40, so no potential for a big initiation here, but it looks like EHOME.KEEN want to be the ones to fight. They find the X marks the spot onto Victoria. Torn follow-up. Yao is there as well. He ends up being spotted out by the bugs, but there's the Glimmer Cape to keep him alive for the moment. They still have the rocket they want to drop it, and Silence onto 2. Thinking about going for this one. They pump fake. They go. The Fatal Bonds is there. They're going to take down Wrong. Can they get any more? Old 11 jumping forward. Have a flame break. He wants to use it. The pushback, it's there. A big bolt connects, but this is an Exorcism out. The Dream Coil to try and get the boy, but the big stun comes out. That's a big one from Victoria. And now they got the silence onto Dragonite. The Magnetize being reapplied. That is 3 dead, mostly cores. and possibly going to be able to find some more. This is a tier 1 tower and probably a tier 2 as well.
I don't know if that was just a lucky kick from Victoria, or if he is just like, you know, coming from the future. He knows exactly that is a time to kick, but that secondary kick prevented the puck counter initiation from coming out, and they got 2 more kills because of that. Yao,
oh no,
gonna be the father here.
no.
But still, big victory here from LGD. If you look at the net worth graph, we're back to 0.
Yeah, it's big stuff. It's scary right now, this Weaver with the Diffusal Blade. If Old 11 ends up going, they do pull it back in. Weaver, what have you done? They have the silence, they get the kill. Ugh.
That's just a straight up beat.
A prize.
I mean, you said it. It's not great. I don't know, you get it in your head, you're in the moment, you realize that it's the brink of elimination, and you feeling like you need to make plays for your team, but Long also almost end up getting taken down there. They do spot out that there's a ward on the high ground, so I imagine that this gets de-warded in a second.
That Dota psychology, man. I think you're right. Like, EHOME is shook. They've lost game 1 in a very lopsided fashion, and in game 2 they were well ahead. You know, it feels like this a game that they should have taken, but all of a sudden, I don't want to say they're on the back foot, because they clearly aren't really that far behind.
Yeah.
But just the momentum that Troll Warlord could get to, like, basically when they were killing Ame, a lot of times he had like half of Vlad's, and now he has Vlad's and perhaps Yasha and a finished BKB. Once this Troll Warlord gets the BKB, I think this is where LG kind of shifts the momentum to their side, because I don't want to say he's unkillable, but he is getting close to up there, where he at least survives long enough where his teammates can do some significant damage if EHOME tries to all commit for the Troll.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that their draft doesn't work the way they want it to, and they managed to find that silence onto the puck. Long duration, the kick off the mark though. Okay, so they won't be able to take him down, at least for now. There is a burn, and fatal bomb's going to be enough.
Simultaneously, EHOME was running a gank onto the Troll Warlord on the bottoms, or sorry, onto Bat Rider. But Bat just forced that and TP out of there.
Dire's bottom tower.
Re-smoke up here from EHOME.
Do you think that this is what they need to do right now? Like, do EHOME want to be forcing the fight?
Yes, they have to force the fight. They need to slow down this Troll Warlord. It's not good enough for EHOME right now to get a random pick. Like, if, for example, if they lose the Bat Rider, that's fine for LGD. If they lose the Warlock, that's fine. They need to get maybe, or they need to get Ame. You need to slow down these cores because they are just ramping completely out of control.
All right, well, Puck, he is going to have a TP to get back to this tier 2 tower. It looks like they want to try and fight it, and they might run into Yao right at the start of it. There's the jump forward. They find the stun. He was able to get the silence off, though, and now the Exorcism popped as well. Victoria's dead, but he managed to find a big stun before he went down. The rock has been dropped. There's going to be a fatal bonds already onto a couple of them. The damage with their Wrong already gone, and also going to be able to control and take down this Dragon Knight. That's a killing spree for 11. A silence is there, it's pretty decent, and well, Troll Warlord now on top of the Kunkka. They're going to find the Weaver to boot. He's going to end up falling also here. There's no way for him to get out of that one. 4 dead, no buybacks. The tower gone for sure. Oh no, LGD, they're pulling it back even further ahead.
Well, LGD, I guess this is what experience means, right? Like in more of a best-of-3 format, even if you're behind, if the other team cannot capitalize on that lead, it doesn't matter. LGD is showing that they are poised to take this game. Roshan not up just yet. I think if LGD could have got the Aegis off of that fight, the game is just over.
Right.
So the timing not really working well for them on that regard, but they're sitting pretty now. That Troll Warlord I mentioned, once he gets the BKB, he should be pretty close to Immortal. And he is going to have it with the SNY finished up. That was a decent initiation, in my opinion, for EHOME. Like, they killed the one quick hero on Victoria. But the other factor that EHOME is lacking on is damage output, I feel like. This is kind of an awkward spot where Weaver takes really a slow dip in terms of damage output before he gets the really crazy right-click items. And the rest of the team is not having enough damage to supplement that Weaver.
Right, and it's normally something where you can make up for it with like a Puck, and he's got some decent things, but he has to build defensively. He's going back now for the Dagon, but you kind of have to go into those defensive items, because if you do end up just losing your life there, it's really, really terrible.
Same for the Dragon Knight. Like,
Yeah.
he's not dealing damage for a mid hero at this point. He's hitting for what, 125?
Like the Soul
That's just not enough. Like comparing, let's say compared to a Quap or a Lina or a Shadow Fiend, they would be trucking for, next to 200. So EHOME is having a big dip in terms of damage output, and this is lined up very poorly against the very peak of what LGD could do right now.
Right. Well, ways to come back into this one, ways to slow down this LGD lineup. What are you looking for EHOME.KEEN? What's the play right now for them?
I think EHOME already can't win a 5v5 anymore, just based on the items and levels that are available to both sides. So the best hope that EHOME can do right now is to get a pick before Roshan and just take the Aegis.
Okay.
They could take it very quickly because of ZZG's Reaver, but they need to have a pick to set that up.
I guess also when you get into the Dagon, that type of thing becomes easier. It's still a little bit tough right now, but certainly with the stun coming out from the Dragon Knight or something like that, it can happen fairly quickly. But in the meantime, Victoria has been able to build into a Blink Dagger for himself, so this Earth Spirit is more mobile, and they do end up going back for that Atos on the Death Prophet.
Okay.
Like you were talking about.
Yeah, the roots pressure heroes like Weaver and Puck very hard. Sure, they have ways to get out of it, like using time-lapse or Yule Scepter, but forcing them to use it in an opportune moment is great.
This is that moment also where you throw out the bugs, you want to stop Roshan from going down, but can you really take this 5-on-5 engagement? You've already said that it's going to be tough for them, and if they end up fighting into this and losing the fight and losing Roshan, the game could just be over.
They need some lucky bashes from Roshan to help out.
Oh, the Levin, he jumps in, he's caught the Dragon Knight. It's a pretty tanky hero to bring down at the start, and actually with the silence by and large, but the Warlock ulti is going to come out, the stun follow-up is going to be there, the Magnetize onto 3, they're all going to end up falling down so quickly. The Exorcism also bringing down that damage, but everybody from LGD, with the exception of Victoria, still looking strong. Wrong, going to die.
The Kunkka dies thanks to the Fatal Bond that was attached to Wrong, so it all went wrong there for EHOME.KEEN, and now LGD could just go back for the Roshan, take the tier 2. Might be a little bit too early to call it, but I think it's too late for EHOME.KEEN. There's just not enough in the tank.
Yeah, they have all of these things. They've got a good amount of damage mitigation with the Kunkka ulti, but it's just all too much at this point. LGD quite strong. Cheese on this Death Prophet. They have the Aegis on the Troll Warlord. They're going to play it safe. I can't tell you guys out there how many times we've seen LGD throw away a lead like this in a huge qualifying event. They've learned their lessons, it seems.
Well, they don't have Warlock ult, right? So
Exactly.
even though they got the Aegis, even though they have all the momentum, just back off. Wait for Warlock ult. Make sure you pick up the round of item that you just got from all that bounty gold.
Well, a pick off on Victoria here isn't going to make up for what ended up happening earlier, but possibly can be the beginning of something. They will be able to find the Earth Spirit.
And I mean, from EHOME.KEEN's perspective, right? Last team fight, LGD initiated on the tankiest hero on EHOME, which was the Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. He was just paper to the Troll Warlord. So I don't know what kind of angle of initiation EHOME.KEEN could get, but it just really was.
So, Old 11 looking. They have eyes on. Ooh, that was close. Warlock's going to be himself a little pucker moment there. Just going to head out. Bat Rider ends up catching him. But yeah, Aegis on Troll Warlord and building next into the Butterfly.
Clear sailing now.
Do you think you go for the health or the damage on him on your next 20?
Hold that thought. A little bit of fight going on the bottom side. And as well as, is maybe going to die here. He's got the cheese.
Trouble. I'm going to use it. Pop it. Yule Scepter, cheese. Thinking about it?
Left from now?
Are they really going to just let him go? All right, he's going to walk away. So they forced the cheese out at the very least. They did kill off the Witch Doctor.
Okay. I don't think EHOME could have killed him anymore after the cheese. Now, it's going to be a kill attempt onto Dark.
Silence as well. He gets the Yule Scepter. They have the weight. They're going to be able to find the second time through with the Urn, with the Spirit Siphon, the damage. Not quite there, not quite enough. Going to be able to get out for the moment. Throws out the orb. Is going to jaunt to the side, but one quick kick. Victoria ending Dark Streams getting away.
That was very well played by Maybe. He ate the cheese and then he just kind of backed off. So from EHOME.KEEN's perspective, it's like, okay, the Death Prophet's gone, but coming out of woods with that Rod of Atos to set up that kill was pretty critical there. So no puck means that there is no defense on this tier 2. LGD will sure get. The question is, will Dragon Knight be able to force them back? Dragon Knight is also simultaneously taking a tower up top.
I mean, I don't think that they mind about that. They're getting set up to push high ground. Like, they have Exorcism, Warlock ulti is back up. I think it's time to go.
Yeah. Okay. LGD agrees. Here we go, high ground.
Okay, forward. Ame the one to send front and center and start dealing the damage. They're even picking out the areas where people could be. They're going to drop a ward off to the side and make sure that they have vision. And if the creep wave's gone, they pull back in again. The Dragon Knight inside his ulti form, but they were able to get the X off, which kept him alive for the moment, and the BKB came afterwards. So still hanging alive, still sticking around. There's the Dream Coil, the counterplay, but the Rock counterplay is a little bit bigger, a little bit badder. Wrong is going to get ran down yet again. Old 11 trying to deal whatever damage he can, and there's the Magnetize from Victoria. The Root comes out, the Prophet keeping eyes on that Dragon Knight. They Glimmer keep him up, but it was never going to be enough. And LGD take down yet another one. They're going inside Fountain. Nowhere is safe from the Medicine Men from LGD as the barracks is going to fall. This is a tough one with double buybacks. I don't even know if that's going to be enough to stop them from going in and not even able to jump in and find the stun. Oh no. Bright, Illuminate, whatever you call him, he's going to die back, and this could potentially be the end.
It was a nice idea because Exorcism did end, but it doesn't matter. LGD at this point, they're so far ahead. They see the Weaver. Weaver silence not going to be over in time. They just blow him up. The Shark comes in. That Shark just wanted some hug. It didn't do anything, and the GG just get called. LGD will be a third team in China going to Seattle.
All right, we got LGD, we got LGDFY, we got IGV. Congratulations to this squad. Like we said, it was such an arduous process for them throughout these last couples of months. I was talking